23 idioms containing ground, be on firm ground, to be in a strong position in an argument, etc. Because you know the facts. Everyone agreed with me, so I knew I was on firm ground. Be riveted to the spot, ground. To be so shocked or frightened that you cannot move. Serrated entries, fear. Break new ground. To make a new discovery or do something that has not been done before. See also, groundbreaking. Cut the ground from under somebody's feet. To suddenly spoil somebody's idea or plan by doing something to stop them from continuing with it. Fall on stony ground. To fail to produce the result or the effect that you hope for. To have little success. His charming smile fell on stony ground with her. The peace initiatives have already fallen on stony ground. Gain ground. To become more powerful or successful. Sterling continues to gain ground against the dollar. Gain, make up ground on somebody, something. To gradually get closer to somebody, something that is moving or making progress in an activity. The police car was gaining ground on the suspects. They needed to make up ground on their competitors. Get something off the ground. To start happening successfully. To make something start happening successfully. Without more money, the movie is unlikely to get off the ground. To get a new company off the ground. Give, lose ground to somebody, something. To allow somebody, something to have an advantage. To lose an advantage for yourself. They are not prepared to give around on tax cuts. The Conservatives lost a lot of ground to the Liberal Democrats at the election. Go to ground. British English. To hide, especially to escape somebody who is chasing you. Have, keep your feet on the ground. To have a sensible and realistic attitude to life. In spite of his overnight stardom, he still managed to keep his feet on the ground. Hit the ground running. Informal. To start doing something and continue very quickly and successfully. Hold. Stand your ground. 1. To continue with your opinions or intentions when somebody is opposing you and wants you to change. Don't let him persuade you. Stand your ground. 2. To face a situation and refuse to run away. It is not easy to hold your ground in front of someone with a gun. Keep. Have your ear to the ground. To make sure that you always find out about the most recent developments in a particular situation. The agent had no suitable properties on his books, but promised to keep an ear to the ground for us. On the ground. In the place where something is happening, and among the people who are in the situation, especially a war. On the ground, there are hopes that the fighting will soon stop. There's a lot of support for the policy on the ground. On neutral ground, territory. In a place that has no connection with either of the people or sides who are meeting, and so does not give an advantage to either of them. We decided to meet on neutral ground. Prepare the ground for something, to make it possible or easier for something to be achieved. The committee will prepare the ground for next month's meeting. Early experiments with rockets prepared the ground for space travel. Run somebody, something into the ground. To make somebody work so hard that they are no longer able to work. To use something so much that it is broken. Run, drive, work yourself into the ground. To work so hard that you become extremely tired. Shift your ground, usually disapproving. To change your opinion about a subject, especially during a discussion. Sit somebody down to the ground. British English, informal. To be very convenient or acceptable for somebody. This job sits me down to the ground. Take, claim, seize, etc. the moral high ground. To claim that your side of an argument is morally better than your opponent's side. To argue in a way that makes your side seem morally better. Thick, thin, on the ground. British English. If people or things are thick, thin on the ground, there are a lot, not many of them in a place. Customers are thin on the ground at this time of year. Security officers were thick on the ground during the king's visit.